Shut off. Distractions, but that's certainly a lot better. And again, one of the main courses. We've seen some big PBs so far.
So here we go in lane number 1, Brianna Williams.
Yeah, youngest ever Olympic medalist for Jamaica. In the 4x1, got gold in Tokyo, the double World Junior Champion back in 2018.
Lane 2, Sha'Carri Forbes representing Sprint Tech.
Yes, Sha'Carri Forbes, a big star for Sprint Tech, trains with Maurice Wilson, has done 10.96 rather, 11.03 in the heats. She's ready for a big final.
Lane 3, a massive personal best in the semi-final, Tia Clayton from MVP Track Club.
Yeah, she is stupendous, 10.86. No 19-year-old in Jamaica's history has gone faster, and she shows up in big form.
With her sister, her twin sister, cheering her on from the sidelines.
In lane 4, one of the big guns in world athletics, Shericka Jackson.
10.65. She's the third fastest Jamaican woman in history. She's the defending champion and has gotten the silver medal last year in Budapest. Shericka Jackson, the superstar, ready to defend her national championships.
Yeah, Kemba Nelson.
Lane 5, Kemba Nelson, represented Elite.
Yeah, 10.88. And so much has been said about her and her form, but she has shown up here and made the national championship final. Once again, she will run from lane number 5.
In lane number 6, I'll just say Shelly and Fraser Price for me.
Born on the 27th day of December, 1986. That makes her all of 37 years old. She'll be 38 years old this December, 2 days after Christmas. She has won 3 Olympic Games, 10 World Championships, 4 Olympic silver medals, 5 times Diamond League final winner, the greatest of all times at 100 meters.
In lane 7, also from MVP Track, Natasha Morrison.
No, Natasha, there's no party without her. She always finds herself in the mix. She World Championship finalist back in 2015.
And rounding out the field from Nike, Alana Reid.
She trains with Sha'Carri Richardson and the top 3 girls who finished 1, 2, 3 at the U.S. Trials this year. She is Jamaica's national junior record holder at 10.92. This is spectacular. A spectacular field that Jamaica delivers. The fastest Jamaican this year, though, 10.86. Tia Clayton, focused, standing beside her training partner, Shericka Jackson.
Shelly and Fraser Price on screen. The storied competitor.
On your marks.
Woman that has given hope to so many with her resilience and her dedication. She lines up one more time with a fantastic feel to her left and to her right.
Brace yourselves for this now. It can't get any better. If it gets any better, then only a fit Elaine Thompson-Hera would have been added to this classy lineup. Women's 100-meter final. Great anticipation around the National Stadium.
Set.
And across the globe. Set. Bang! Away they go. Kemba Nelson, Fraser Price got an excellent start. Tia Clayton is running the race of her life. Shericka Jackson turns on the afterburners now. Spectacular performance. 10.79 the flash time. Shericka Jackson, big performance on the big occasion.
But what she needs here is very similar to the script that she needed for the 100. Have a better start and turn than she did in the semifinals, and then she's got to set a personal best just to contend with this field, because behind her, she has the fastest woman this year in Gabby Thomas, and 2 behind her, she has Julian Alfred, who is also dangerous. She's the NCAA champion, and she has a faster personal best, and that's before we talk about the fastest woman alive at 200, Shericka Jackson, who will be behind them all in lane 6.
Hey, Son, how about this as we look at Gabby Thomas of the United States? The U.S. women have not won a world championship at 200 meters since the great Allyson Felix in 2009.
That blows my mind to think of that
It
stat.
surprised me too.
That blows my mind. And Otto, you have kind of convinced me that Gabby Thomas could be a co-favorite in this event. She has the perfect lane draw out in lane 8. She can chase Sha'Carri, the weakest part of her race. She's going to be able to chase the world champion and then get on the straightaway quicker than anybody else and go to her strength, the final 100 meters. So could tonight be the night that the the final 100 meters. So could tonight be the night that the Team USA is restored as champion? We'll see.
I just feel like Gabby Thomas has not been challenged so far in a big race. She blew away U.S. Nationals, but this one on your screen is the favorite for a reason. 21-4, disappointed in the 100. She has everything to run for here. And only Gabby Thomas has run faster this year at 200 meters.
And make no mistake about it.
And she's at 6. Yeah, she can see everybody in front of her.
29-year-old Jamaican wants a little bit of revenge on that woman right there, Sha'Carri Richardson, because Shericka Jackson thought for a second she had won the World 100-meter title. It didn't happen. She was shocked by Richardson. Here's Gabby Thomas. As Sonia told us, she's got fresh legs. No 100 for her.
Here's the NCAA champion, Alfred. Does she have one more big race in her?
Daryl Neater of Great Britain.
After making the Olympic 100 final, now she's made a world final.
This is Dina Asher-Smith, her teammate who reigned supreme in 2019, but has had injury issues since. She was only 8th in the 100, so what can she do here? And also rounding out the field there, that's Mary-José Talou. I mean, a picture of consistency, guys. She's been one of the best female sprinters in the world for over a decade. Unfortunately, was in that 4th spot again in the 100 meters, and a tough lane draw for her there in lane 2.
One thing is for sure, I feel like the medals are going to come from the outside lanes.
We keep saying it, we haven't had a bad final yet in the field event or on the track, and this is guaranteed to be another buzzworthy performance.
The two American women are side by side in lanes 8 and 9. Gabby Thomas in 8, and right here, Sha'Carri Richardson, the 100-meter world champion in 9. Champion in 9. Women's 200 final away.
Shericka Jackson, Sha'Carri Richardson on the outside has already been passed. Here comes the world champion Jackson.
Shericka Jackson into the home straight. She has put her stamp on this event. She's going to go back-to-back for Jamaica. The person's medal in 8, and she crosses in 21:41. Wow, that is a meat record.
She is getting closer to Flojo's world record. She is now just 700ths
of a second away as Gabby Thomas gets the silver and Sha'Carri hands on for her 2nd medal at these Worlds.
That wasn't even close, Otto, and I could tell the way that she ran the 100, she was in the middle of the track, all of her chief competition in front of her, she executed to perfection. We just witnessed the 2nd fastest time ever run, and it was at a World Championship final. Oh my goodness, just phenomenal running for these women.
Look at Gabby Thomas, her mouth is wide open, she can't believe it. It's Jamaica, the United States, and 0.4 of a second in sprinting is a mile.
That is as big
of a
margin of victory as you will see in a sprint event in history at these World Championships. We'll crunch the numbers, but wow, for a race that we thought, well, maybe somebody gets close, no contest, Jackson by a mile.
And that's the last time you convinced me to change my favorite. Shericka Jackson looked amazing, but Otto, you also called it. Sha'Carri Richardson would need to run a personal best, and she did, and she got a bronze medal. So she's leaving here with a gold and a bronze. This is a phenomenal first World Championship for the young superstar.
So here's another look. Shericka Jackson 4th from the left.
Ready to finish off the second to last night under the lights here in Budapest with the women's 4x100 meter relay. And let's meet Team USA.
The United States making 2 changes from the semifinals, and they're the final 2. Sha'Carri Richardson will anchor. Gabby Thomas will run 3rd. The first half stays intact. Tamari Davis, just 20, making her debut for the United States, and TT Terry down the back stretch. You'll remember she anchored the winners last year in Eugene when they upset the Jamaicans.
It has been a real rivalry, a legit rivalry, back and forth over the years between the US and Jamaica.
How much of a rivalry is it? You have to go back to 2003 to find the last time that a team not Jamaica or the United States won this event at Worlds. That's a full 20 years, just USA and Jamaica trading the titles back and forth.
And that was France, and France do not have a team in this final.
So Tamari Davis, as well as she ran in the semifinals, I knew there was no danger she was getting subbed out. She's a youngster, so you give her the least to do. The only thing she has to do is pass. There's TT. She anchored, as I said, last year and held off the hard-charging Shericka Jackson of Jamaica. Gabby Thomas, who got the silver in the 200 meters last evening, she'll handle the third leg. And then the world 100-meter champion and 200-meter bronze medalist from this meet, Sha'Carri Richardson, will bring it home. And who will she be anchoring against? Shericka Jackson of Jamaica.
So Sha'Carri got the better of Shericka in the 100. Shericka got the better of the world in the 200. Shericka left everybody behind. So the US and Jamaican teams are just rock solid. Morrison, Fraser Price, Forbes, and Jackson, the Jamaican quartet.
It may be, Lee, that this is the last time that we will see Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price at Worlds. She'll run the backstretch. I told you yesterday, she's run every leg for Jamaica. Sasha Lee Forbes on third, and we already told you the anchor. 21:41 last night to scare Florence Griffith-Joyner's world record. Shericka Jackson will be counted on yet again to anchor the Jamaicans home.
Here's Shericka, and while she is basking in the glory of these World Championships, she will tell you what an honor it has been and still is to run on the same team as Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. Shelly-Ann has told us that Paris more than likely will be her last Olympics. These will be her last World Championships. She'll be 37 in Paris. So it's going to be the end. We're in the twilight of this incredible career for the three-time Olympic champion, 8-time Olympic medalist. And here at the World Championships, she's won 15 world medals, 10 of them gold, entering this race now.
And this British team that will start in lane 8 is weakened severely. You see the name you don't see on the left there? Dina Asher-Smith. So it's a good team, but I don't know if this British team is capable of challenging Jamaica and the United States if they don't make any mistakes, just because they don't have the horsepower. Daryl Needham's had a phenomenal World Championships. There she is, she'll anchor, setting a personal best in the 200 and finishing 5th last evening.
Marie-Josée Talou is on the Ivory Coast team, as you would imagine.
That's a team to watch as well. They ran well, second in their heat.
Leaky Klaver for the Netherlands and Nadine Visser. Germany
against Jamaica, side by side. The 100-meter champion against the 200-meter champion. Richardson, Jackson. She's closing, but not fast enough. It's gold for the Americans. Redemption. Brilliant performance. Absolutely superb. They have done the double. They've rounded off the penultimate night exactly as they said they would.
Guess what you call that? A good team.
Let's go around the track one more time with Team USA. Whoa! So Tamari Davis ran all the way up on TT Terry. Jamaica was already gone, but TT did a good job of holding her own against Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. The United States was very much still in it. Gabby Thomas, with her hand back, she looks back for the stick. Jamaica's already gone, but Gabby Thomas on the inside lane had a tighter turn to run. So Sha'Carri Richardson got the baton at the same time, but she was further out in the zone. So she had to handle somebody who is not easy to handle on an anchor leg. And it really was no contest. It wasn't like Shericka dipped into the lead or made it a race. The lead that Sha'Carri got, she held, and that is not easy to do, trust me, against Shericka Jackson. Ask TT Terry, who probably lost about 8.
So I was trying to stay still and kind of replicate what I did yesterday. Okay, it wasn't exactly like yesterday, but I was there.
And how about this baton pass to TT? She
It's
got
okay,
it.
yeah, and we just made it work. She slowed down. I got it into her hand before we went out the zone, and she was moving. She got it to Gabby.
You gonna let TT talk?
Hello brothers and sisters, I really hope you're all doing fine from wherever you're watching me from. Now it is time we also discuss the importance of black talents in black Africa and in the black diaspora. We need actually to discuss how these talents have communicated a lot and how they have helped us to come together and preach unity. Now, the biggest thing that I actually talk about on my channel is the unity of black people. And I've always been talking about the diaspora being united, Africa being united with the Caribbean and with the diaspora. And when I see such talents, now, when we talk about these talents like those of Bob Marley, who was a very popular musician in the world, I mean. Now, he sang about uniting Africa with the Caribbean, uniting Africa with the diaspora. Now, he was always advocating for oneness within the black community. This is whatever we need at the moment. We need a one united Africa that is united with the Caribbean and with the diaspora. Now, another thing, we must remember that some of these talents have actually marketed our countries. They have put our countries on the global map that you come from Africa, but when you win at the Olympics or when you win at a world stage, it means your country's flag will be carried up and everyone will see that, and you become popular together with your country. Now, it raises a lot of eyebrows, and this actually makes in other cases we've seen Adidas, we've seen Nike, we've seen all these big companies going to invest in some of these countries. This is why Adidas went to invest in Jamaica, just because of Usain Bolt. Now, this is putting your country on the map and actually helping your country economically. Now, we are seeing Clayton putting her country on the map. We've seen people like Shericka Jackson putting Jamaica on the map. We've seen, actually, Jamaica has been producing a lot of talents, and we need to appreciate that, and we need actually to recognize that the fact that Jamaica has actually been doing well in the Caribbean in terms of sports. We've seen footballers, we've seen musicians, we've seen politicians, we've seen great businessmen, economics coming out of Jamaica. This is very good. And so many other Caribbean countries, we really need to recognize that. I've been saying that people like Rihanna have put Barbados on the map, and actually her coming from Barbados has been so much blessing, because now she attracts a lot of attention, and this leads to the countries, maybe some investors or some businessmen may want to invest with her in her country, or using her maybe to popularize their companies in their country or in the world. And this is actually positive. The same way I do say people like Lucky Dube of South Africa. He used his music to sing about liberation, to end apartheid. Now, you all know that it is because of his music that he was killed, because of his boldness. Now, go look at his music. That man really played a big role in South Africa's freedom fight. Now, he was actually at the forefront with his music back in the 90s, talking about how the colonial government was building more prisons than hospitals, and how it was focused on the wrong things instead of taking people to school, providing good health care and all that stuff. Now, these are the things that have actually helped South Africa to come out of that apartheid period. Now, he was among the the frontliners who actually took it personal to actually advocate for human rights and to talk about the evil that was happening in South Africa. You must also remember people like Sarafina in South Africa. They used their talents, they used their acting skills to talk about the evils that the colonial government was doing to the people of South Africa. If you've never watched that movie, it is high time you go and search for Sarafina. Now, I'm just talking about this to enlighten you, to make you understand why we talk about these talents and whatever they have done for our countries. Now, I've seen many other footballers, and I've seen athletes after maybe completing their run, they put some flags or some placards, maybe end Palestine war and all that stuff. These have actually been used to advocate for so many other things. And sports have been having a big part, have played a big role in our lives in making sure that some people are not being oppressed just because of their minority, or some people are not being oppressed because of their the ideologies in a country or in a system where people do not understand whatever is happening. Now, this is actually whatever we want to see. We want to see more of Tia Claytons. We want to see more of Usain Bolts. We want to see more of Shericka Jacksons, and Presa Fries. We want to see we want to see so many other good talents coming out of Jamaica, Barbados, in the Caribbean, and in Africa. So now, to talk about this, you all know the French national team. If you are a soccer lover, you know that 70% is comprised of people from Africa. Now, these are the same black people who should be playing for Africa. What happened? Just because our countries do not care about talents, our countries do not nurture talents. Now, people have talents in Africa, but they are not prioritized by these governments. These governments have they prioritize whatever we call minor major. Like, the minor things are whatever are being prioritized, then the major things are the one being not prioritized. And when we have countries in Africa that do not prioritize talents, then I sob for my countries, I cry for my countries, because we actually need these talents. These talents are whatever puts our countries on the map. These talents attract investors into our countries. Imagine in a country like Jamaica, where we have so many athletes. Now, so many companies like Adidas, Nike will want to invest in Jamaica just because to popularize their companies and to make more profits. And in this case, you're opening more business opportunities. You're opening more employment and actually so many other things. If we need to get out of this colonial mentality, if we want to get ourselves where we want, we must actually recognize that we have talents in our own countries, and majority of the people are now feeding out of their talents. They're actually living because their talent is paying off. So we actually need to advocate for these things. We need to talk about these things, and we need to actually talk the truth. We need to tell our leaders no to this and say yes to this. We should not be puppets of the West. This is whatever is actually ailing our country so much. We've seen players coming out of these European leagues, those who play football, then come to our countries. They do not have somewhere to sleep. They do not have the government do not actually cater for their expenses, and this is whatever motivates them more to go and play for European countries, to play for the US, Canada, all these other countries. And this is actually ailing Africa. Up to date, we've never had a World Cup coming out of Africa. We do not even have countries from the Caribbean playing in the World Cup. And this actually shows you that our talents are running away from Africa, are running away from the Caribbean, going to play for the US, going to play for Brazil, going to play for all these other countries, going to play for most European countries. All these countries that have had their World Cups, go look at their teams, and you'll get a bigger percentage of the people who won the World Cup comprised of black players. So we need to get things around, and we need to change the fact that we do not appreciate talents. We do not appreciate one of our own. It is so sad. We are used to these things that it is even haunting us in a way. So let's appreciate whatever we do. Let's appreciate our talents, and all gonna be fine. Thank you so much for having taken on time to watch this video. Brothers and sisters, I appreciate so much. If it's your first time on this channel, please consider subscribing, sharing, and liking. You might be asking yourself, why do sports and entertainment? I'm doing this because it is entirely black. I do not, yes, let me just say that way. And it talks about most of these events are actually uniting our people. They are bringing the Caribbean together. They are bringing the world together, and they are bringing the black community together. And that has always been my priority, to talk about black people and to talk about the black unity and to talk about the oneness that we need as the Caribbean African diaspora. Thank you so much. See you in our next episode.